predict what this item build's going to be, because honestly, Wako went for the Triforce as well in that AD carry position, whereas usually we see the Essence Reaver.
Yeah. Yeah, difficult to tell what is best on this Smolder champion. Liandry's, I've heard negative things about Liandry's on the Smolder, but it looks like a pretty good Liandry's game.
Yeah, just in general, right? Just so much health coming through those two top sides.
Yeah.
But you're probably not really worried about that too much as a Smolder. You're going to do a lot of percent health damage anyway.
Nice. And I was wondering if Cascada would take Ignite in this lane. I'm glad he has.
Yep. Yeah, he doesn't care about teleport. Even when he's not on something like this.
Did they see Orca? I don't think they've definitely seen him now.
Oh, Orca.
DFM might still have trouble getting out of here.
No. So maybe some rust. Oh, that's going to be the snare coming through onto 2. Feng trying to do damage to Harp. It's the electric harpoon landing. Narya's going to find some damage on the Cascada as well. Now, Harp, he's going to be low heading into this lane, but same can be said for Orca.
Yeah, and the HP pool probably more relevant on this Braum, just because he's going to be eating so much more poke in the spot lane, so not a horrible start for either side as, a lot of poke landing.
Yeah, that's made bot lane a little worse for DFM, but they still do have Seraphine Ashe. They should be completely fine in this lane.
Yeah, but this is probably their very strongest relative to the power of the Ezreal Braum in this level 1, just by both being double range, and at this rate, they might not even get priority in this lane. At least on the first few waves.
Yeah, seemingly that way at the moment as DCG hit level 2. Yep. Land Winter's Bite there onto Udapon, but not really any threat. If Feng were to lose his mind and E4'd, he'd probably just gets chased down this lane and dies.
Yeah, and I did say this Braum champion is borderline first pickable or blind pickable in this meta, but the reason you generally don't is because he is very heavily punished by ranged bottom lanes. Double ranged bottom lanes, and there's probably no better champ to pair with a ranged support than the Ashe if you're looking for an early game advantage.
Yeah, you also have to consider the synergy between Seraphine and Ashe as well. Seraphine, how her slow/root works is if someone is slowed, it will be a root.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, yeah.
And so if Ashe lands a volley and Harp's able to follow up, then it will just be a snare, whereas instead, usually it would just be a slow. So there is synergy between these two and that bottom side.
Yeah, and that can just blow a cleanse with basic abilities from the side of DFM if they connect at the right time onto Feng, and then playing against Ashe Seraphine without the cleanse is going to be torture for Feng. So Orca blocks the volley there.
Yeah, the good thing about Braum in these kinds of lanes is very telegraphed when to use your shield to block poke, because you're not going to use it to block a full engage, as Ari going to be looked at here, and Electric Harpoon landing with the Ignite here on Rumble. You're going to know exactly where this champ is, and there's the flash gone. I think this is a repeat gank in the very near future, and 665 is a jungler we know very, very good at capitalizing on missing summoner spells, so weakness here for Arya, at least early on in this best of 5.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Steel is just running after the Vi rather than taking top crab. They're actually rotating mid and jungle down here. If 665 tries to make a play, he will be in trouble if he's not quick about it.
Yeah, he's going to spot out Steel and use that Vault Breaker to get away, but it was Orca and Feng losing a substantial amount of their health there to a negative trade up against DFM. They do manage to pop that heal out of Harp, but still I think DFM's bot lane going to be pretty happy about how that went.
Yeah, I think this is very intelligent from Steel, just hanging around mid lane. They cannot take a fight in this 2v2 with their mid laners flash down, and the Ignite advantage that Cascada has.
Cascada, though, just going aggressive here. Is 665 going to be able to duel out the Sejuani? A pretty even trade as Aftershock is going to be popped there. Cascada going to be able to shield the majority of that Q damage coming through here. Arya has to be careful.
Yeah, Invis so strong. 665 really wanting to flash onto Arya. So Steel gives up a crab just to make sure his mid lane, bot lane are safe there, and is the kind of play you need to be making on the Sejuani.
I think you're pretty happy there as DCG to be able to pick up both those crabs, ultimately punishing the Sejuani for just having to keep her lane safe, really, as Feng. Oh no, he's going to cancel his recall, but they do have Steel here, and they're looking somewhat for a dive as Taco is handily winning out this top lane. I'd love to see his stacks, but it is not on his thing yet. Yeah, Feng getting looked at. He will have Flash and Cleanse. Orca trying to do something to deny this dive coming through, but Harp tanking up the tower to start with. Udapon's going to go down. Anyone else? The Aftershock does proc, but it's not going to actually hit any damage there onto Orca, so able to get away from the tower is Steel, as Orca playing aggressive, misses the Winter Bite, and Harp's going to be able to walk on out.
Yeah, and you kind of wish Harp just tanked the tower till he died, because maybe anyone dying but Yutapon would feel better. It was a well-played shield from Orca on the Braum here, blocking the snare, making life a lot more difficult. Fang actually commits his flash there, and so does Orca. Kind of both wasting their flashes.
I am very surprised that Aftershock damage proc didn't actually get the tower damage onto Steel there. Otherwise, we might have had ourselves a double kill going over to Orca.
Yeah, unfortunate. All around, really. And I think you're going to be missing this flash if your Fang did hold on to his cleanse.
Yeah, it could be missing. I mean, it is Ezreal.
Yeah, if there's a champ you want to be without flash on,
yeah,
it's probably the Ezreal. So
at this stage, not too much threat, right? The cleanse will get rid of the Ashe ult, and hopefully you should be able to E over a Seraphine ult, or it can just be blocked by Braum.
DCG do get to pick up these Void Grubs, and there will be no cross map onto this dragon, so it's going to be a very early level 6 for 665, who just got to keep farming while Steel was ganking. As Ray Farkey's making his way here.
Yeah, still going to be able to get here to contest something. Harp looks like he ate a little bit of the equalizer, but ultimately will be able to get on out of there, and Orca blocks up a whole heap of that damage. Now Taco coming down, going to be able to have some damage onto Steel, trying to block that Arctic Assault, won't be able to do so, but Flap, he gets himself over that wall, and now Steel trying to run away. That is the Permafrost coming through, and now it's Taco that has to be very careful. Mum comes on through, and here comes absolutely everything. They're all out from Ray Fark. He should be able to pick himself up a kill onto 665. Absolutely does do so. Cascada arriving, but he's overheated. He's got nothing to do. There's going to be a triple kill. 3 kills going over to DFM as Orca runs for his life. Won't be hit by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but a massive teamfight win for Detonation. Focus me, sorry.
What a massive turnaround from Arya and Ray Farkey. They see their jungler being chased, bullied away by the Smolder. Taco doesn't quite connect with his ultimate to finish off the Sejuani. As Steel was just trying to pick up this last Void Grub that you just get here. I think if you're the Sejuani, you show up. There's a Smolder in the enemy top lane. You should just get these Void Grubs. Nice stun to proc Steel's Aftershock there, and then the save from Ray Farkey. The follow-up from Arya instantly deletes Taco. 665 quickly taken down after him. Cascada not able to get anything done in this fight either. What a disaster.
Yeah, late to the fight, already used Equalizer on that mid lane, and so really nothing that Cascada could contribute to that. So it is DFM with a fairly substantial early game lead here, as they are up 1.5k gold. 4 kills to 1 is the score. Now, 2 grubs were picked up by DCG, so it's not all for naught, but not the position you want to find yourself in. Now, admittedly, at the same time, 60 stacks now on the Smolder at 8 minutes, and it's only going to get exponentially faster.
Yeah, does just excessively gain stacks once he has a couple of wolves on his queue, the Smolder, but that is also exactly how you want a game to play out if you're one of these tanks into a ranged top laner. You get abused under your tower all early game, but the idea is you're more useful later in the game, and we saw it there in that fight. Taco not even able to finish a 30% Sejuani on his own. Steel getting a little harassed by Orca there, loses his passive, but can defend his bot side, which is all up right now. And 665 is going to need to find a way to get his team back into the game. We saw them play a lot of Rumble buy in the past.
Yeah, generally was Taco, however, on the Rumble.
Yeah, this time Cascada's turn, but the idea is still exactly the same. It's going to be an Ezreal ult or Rumble ulti on whoever you target with this buy. And I'm thinking it's probably Arya, because this DFM comp kind of runs out of steam. Having an Ashe as your main source of damage, once Arya goes down, is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, DFM starting up this Dragon will be uncontested, with 65 being up on that top side, so early Dragon stacking now in favor of DFM. Won't be a Hextech Soul, unfortunately, for them, but still always good to get that nonetheless. It won't be an Infernal Soul either.
Yeah. Arya's still doing fine in these trades with the Rumble. We're not...
Yeah, 20 CS up.
Yeah, we're not really understanding the counter pick yet. At least I'm not. As 665 and Cascada do want to go use their ultis.
Yeah, Equalizer available here. Now comes all the ultimates. Nice flash away from Cascada as he's auto-attacking down Yutapon. But Yutapon's going to win that one out. One more auto-attack would do it. There it is, the stun. And it's going to be a double kill there for Feng. So a nice turnaround on the bot side for DCG as Ray Farkey all out top. Not even going to get the flash out of Taco. And so even more pressure alleviated from the Smolder. Not that there was a whole lot to begin with.
Yep, feels really good for Taco to get the ulti out of the Cassante, who can now never kill him. But as far as this bot lane play goes, Harp and Yutapon recognizing how strong they are, but not respecting this roam coming out. maybe thinking their teammates get here in time. Udapon almost gets away here, but 665 just reaches him with that auto. Otherwise, it might have been a 1-for-1. Little bit of a bounce back for DCG now. Though Cascada did lose both his sums in that play, and he has not a whole lot of counterplay to this Aurora ulti now for the next 5 minutes.
Looks like a lane swap. I'm not really sure what the purpose is. I feel like keeping the...
I think Grubs, yeah.
Yeah, but... Yeah, I mean, I would have preferred probably just to give them and have my Smolder free stacking, but...
Yeah, especially when Brom's gone bot lane anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of set yourself with a worse lane for the Smolder, who is going Triforce. Steel is here.
Admittedly, the Israel is stronger than the Smolder right now, so... keeping that 2v2 down bot, and actually now it's just a 1v0 as... DCG do manage to pick up, once again, 2 of those Void Grubs, meaning they get 4. They're going to get that 1 singular Void Might spawn, and that's going to be it for the Void Grubs.
Yeah, and seeing
2.5 minutes, though.
And seeing the lane assignment shenanigans, DFM have just put their bot lane mid, usually just a good move when you're not sure how to arrange your lanes.
No one top here for the side of DCG, so recall coming through from Feng means there's going to be an entire minion wave just... being lost.
Oh, wow. Commits his TP top. The CS is important on the Smolder. Rayfar, he actually didn't get that play, I don't think.
I don't hate it. You're not going to have that much impact team fight, teleporting into a fight as Smolder. Yeah. So just keeping more and more uptime is arguably going to be more important.
Yeah, you are essentially just giving this next dragon. Arya did commit his TP to the bot lane, but he can just hang out there for the next 2 minutes and show up to this dragon. Rayfar, he can TP from top to bot if he needs to. But it's probably going to just be DCG giving up this dragon if they can get some damage on this top tower.
One thing that's worth mentioning, of course, is in the upcoming patch, there is going to be new emotes for each region and the teams within the region. DCG, while I bring it up, they actually selected a Smolder emote, Smolder in a cage. Yeah. So certainly if you are a fan of DCG, if you're a fan of Smolder, pick that one up in the in-game shop.
Yeah, maybe
I have my favorite. I have my favorite within those, but I will not mention it.
Okay, I'll need to have a look at them. Probably be able to guess. They've always loved the Smolder, DCG, pretty much since it came out.
Yeah.
And we're the only team just not playing it conventionally in the ADC role.
Yeah, everyone playing an AD carry, Cascada picking it into poke mages mid.
Ooh, Feng. Gotta be a little careful. Oh, Novus.
There we are. It's a tower place.
Being just ridiculously greedy in the mid lane, just tanking tower shots and autoing towers.
Yeah, just sidestepping Ashe ults. We'll get away with it though. Now it's because of the health loss, he's going to have to just withdraw from any form of mid lane pressure.
Yeah, that would have been a great arrow to land for Udapon just to get the cleanse off of this Ezreal. So much CC on his team that would appreciate being able to throw things like the Sejuani ult and the Seraphine ult at this Ezreal.
Let's see what items come through here. Not quite the Leandries, I think, is the most important thing, but the Triforce is now online for Feng.
Yeah, Malignance now for Cascada's counterpart in the mid lane. So you have to imagine this next fight just goes to DFM. Taco recalling though, so he might run his way down to the dragon. As DFM are starting a very late Rift Herald. Yeah,
Triforce finished for Taco. This might be a really good time for DCG to fight. Although Cascada gets caught out, that's the Glacial Prison. There's absolutely everything stunned up. Gets the Equalizer off though, and Harp just tanking it up. Orca's going to be completely fine with eating up everything to do with that Seraphine ult. As Aria's going to use his ult. Orca does put up that Brawn Wall as Feng, trying to do the damage that he needs to do. 6-5 comes through. Mum does as well, but it's sidestepped away from. Here comes that cease and desist. Is it going to be enough to DCG? They're losing this team fight quite handedly, but Taco and Feng are still alive, and there's very, very low health bars. Udapon gets hit by that Mystic Shock. Forward does go Feng, but he's not able to find the follow-up on that Mystic Shot through to Udapon. Still very low health bars here. Taco with Flash, Feng with both summoners available to himself. Can these two carries of DCG make a play? It's going to be very hard as Feng. He loses Arcane Shift there. And here comes Taco from the side. He's going to be very, very wary that Enchanted Crystal Arrow could turn this on its head, and DCG could find themselves losing even more as Orca does respawn. He does now get to this play. It is the Rift Hero picked up by DFM, but DCG, they should have first track onto that Dragon.
Yeah, and also just the mid tower. I'm surprised DFM go for this, but in this replay, Cascada's just caught with his flash up here. Gets headshot by the Sejuani ulti, and this ulti from Seraphine is incredible, and the ulti from Aurora is great to turn a fight, but when you're ahead in a fight, it just usually means a couple of extra kills as they get 665's flash and the kill on Orca for the Aurora ulti.
Well, back to live, and Rayfaki's gone aggressive in that mid lane. He has survived just barely, but Taco not able to find the kill. The healing coming through there from Harp, going to keep Rayfaki barely alive, and Feng no mana, staying along in this midway, but Cascada getting looked at here by Arya, who's going to try and turn it around once he is able to take down that tower. He turns it. There goes Golden for Arya here on this Aurora, but the electric harpoon connects, and 665 claims himself a shutdown.
Yeah, Arya does his best to defend the tower there, but that tower is lost, and so is Arya as a result of their greed in going for the Rift Herald. And sacrificing so much tempo. They'll have to get something out of this Rift Herald, as I thought they would lose mid, but they end up losing top lane along with their mid laner. Well played with their tempo, DCG. Rift Herald now dropped, and we'll see if DFM can get something done now. Should be the mid tower just gone immediately.
Yeah, the mid tower's going to go down. This Dragon is still up and available. Taco teleporting in from behind, and in comes that cease and desist. Even comes everything, but it's going to be 65 who goes down first as Harp does teleport away. Actually, the Vault Breaker, and it's going to be 65 surviving, but Taco gets all out of there, does have to flash away in Aurora. Arya on that Aurora picks up one. Rayfaki will pick up a second there on this Cassante, and it's a 5v3. The top and jungle from DCG have gone down. Feng, Orca, and Cascada with it all to do.
Yeah, this time it's DCG trying to defend the tower they have no business defending, and they lose it along with a couple of their members and the Dragon now. As Cascada's going to make his way up to the top lane, pick up some CS for himself, and I cannot believe Seraphine survived that combo, but well played by Harp to just survive this triple ult that comes onto him. Gets all of his spells off and actually charms the Ezreal, who could have easily followed up. 665 looks like he's going to escape this fight as well. I wasn't paying attention to who gets him. Of course, it's Aurora, who, if Arya has his ulti here as well, it's a bunch of flashes and kills in the mid lane too. The power of Aurora.
Very perplexing, actually, that DCG looked for that fight, because look at Taco, look at his stacks, 193. He's so close to becoming online, and
yeah, as well as they've just made a play in the top lane.
Yeah.
Right, you know, they were kind of trading tempo, but neither team respecting the others.
So it is 2 Dragons now for DFM to 0 DCG, and they are up now 2k gold.
Yeah, 5-1 Arya on the Aurora. As predicted, he is very good on this champion. Assuming he hasn't played into Rumble all that much either, and kind of just destroying this lane. After having to blow his flash early game too. Very impressive from Arya. Continues to have a great playoff.
Yeah, so far so good for DFM, although game certainly far from done. Item spike coming online very shortly for Feng, and could be another option then for the side of DCG to look for a fight, because it should coincide roughly from when that fully evolved Smolder does finally land. But in saying that, I mean, Aurora has looked so infallible. It's 5-1-3 now for Arya. We've already seen him carry one game on this champ, as he's looking now pretty handedly to being able to get himself a second.
Yeah, and if the plan was to just throw by Rumble ultis at this Aurora, he's just gone for a Zhonya second. Very intelligent from Arya. I think he just becomes not a viable target for this Vi now. The wave clear still very good on this champion. Cascada just has to sit under his tower and sack all priority here. His teammates cannot keep a hold of this jungle very well either.
Yeah, not much on the map really. 30 seconds until the spawn of this ban. We don't really expect either team to be hitting that straight off the rip, as especially for the side of DCG. Fing being looked at, Smite does land, and he's going to flash away, but the Glacial Prison does land on him, and he's not going to be able to get out. Charmed up, but Orca comes through, and Orca stops anything from happening as Harp. Aria actually being looked at, and 665 is able to take him out. It's now a 4v5, this time in favor of DCG as Taco's coming through. He's so close to those smolder stacks. Keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen, as Orca will be going down. It's a 4v4 now, but very low health bars for Steel and for Ray Farkey means that both teams are going to decide to walk separate directions. And again, DCG, they're pulling the trigger. They managed to find one kill, but Taco is so close to fully evolving.
Yeah, massive win. You can forgive DCG for fighting with this pre-evolve, with the Smolder one wave from evolving, just because it was an aggression coming out of DFM that provoked it. And Feng played that. I mean, it didn't look like he played it out of his mind because he was just CC'd the whole time, but he buffers the Sejuani stun, gets hit by Sejuani ulti and the Seraphine ulti, doesn't use his cleanse or his flash at all in that fight. So nerves of steel from Feng.
Yeah, and now he's rewarded. Has that Mirror Mana completed. He is looking very, very strong now on this Ezreal, but talking about strong, I mean, it has to somewhat be mentioned that Taco is online. It isn't the Smolder of old. It's not last split Smolder, but it is certainly a champion. You've seen how low so many people are getting in the middle of these team fights. If that Smolder is online, if that execute can come through, it can be devastating. And more so than that, the percentage health burn. They're already struggling to take down the Sejuani, to take down the Cassante. Finally now, at long last, Taco's going to be able to help.
Yeah. And speaking as Harp is taking a lot
he's going to take a lot of damage, but he gets out of that True Shot barrage, but 65 once again looking aggressive here. This time onto Ray Farkey. Mum comes through, and that's a flash away from Utapon. Stunned back, though. Taco's going to get stunned up. There's no one to follow up. Winter's Bite not going to get that stun as Steel is going to have those happy feet. He is going to get away, but still DFM, they're getting aggressed on. Here comes 665 talking about the aggression. It's the king of said aggression as Taco finds himself a double kill. He's still going aggressive. He's taking tower shots, and they're taking the team fight win. Aria, though, he does arrive the flash forward, but Taco gets out. Taco with the flash preemptively is able to dodge out of that Aurora ultimate, and DCG keep thriving.
Do they have the HP to do this Baron, though? They seem to think so. They're starting it up. Taco's going to TP back in here. It's really only Orca with much of a health bar to tank this. And I think DFM are just not even going to contest it with Aria's flash and ulti down.
If they saw how low these members of DCG were, they might just change their mind. This dragon is alive. DCG are going to have to recall. So many low health bars, but only 3 members alive of the side of DFM. They don't know about the health bars, are going to choose to recall as well.
Yeah, and this was initially aggression again from DFM, but this time their Aurora, look at the TP. They're so far away by the dragon. Aria not able to contribute to this fight at all. Look at these HP bars. Feng had a monster fight, constantly Eing forward, able to use both of these sums once he does get his spikes because of how well he played that previous fight in the mid lane, holding on to flash and cleanse.
We never touched on it before the game, but DCG, traditionally, last split and even early sometimes in this split, 665 has looked absolute best when he's on either. Well, I guess out of 3 champs, it tends to be the Vi, the Lee Sin, and the Xin Zhao.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it in these team fights. He's finding the right target time and time again. But talking about the right target, Aria, he's going to be able to find Taco locked up in this cage. But Taco survives at least the length of the duration. But he does go down. It's going to be Ray Farkey picking up that kill. As through will come the ultimate from the Seraphine. Nice cleanse from Feng. Gets him out of there. As 65 going to wisely not go aggressive here onto this play. Now Taco's down. Orca is down. It's a 3v5. Trying to defend this mid lane in a tower. There is an equalizer available. The Baron minions will be able to come through in the near future. Equalizer put down, going to clear out this minion wave. Not any damage, however, on the members of DFM, as they now will be able to turn their attention towards this third dragon, towards the soul point, and it's the Cloud Soul they are fighting for.
Yeah, and when DFM group as 5 like this, the Seraphine just looks so powerful. The Rumble not able to get here as 665 maybe going for a steal.
I don't think so. He's going to be looked at here, and I mean, Harp is just drawing so much attention and just continuously living. It's
constantly.
Crazy how well Harp is being able to pilot this Seraphine. As DCG, though, they're going to take the tempo switch to be able to pick up this mid lane inner for themselves, as the Baron, of course, is going to help with that. Feng going to be able to take a tower shot after damaging Ray Farkey, as he is positioned very, very aggressively. Does have all out available to himself, but no flash.
Yeah, this is a very strong Cassante. Ray Farkey not afraid. As it was honestly Steel and Ray Farkey in that last fight with the help of the Aurora ulti. It helps these melee champions get on top of these carries on the side of DCG. Nowhere to run. You just got a Sejuani and a Cassante auto-attacking you, essentially. That is how they managed to take down these members of DCG, Taco specifically. Will be towers cleaned up now by DCG with this Baron.
Yeah, and importantly, I never really realized this until just now, but Baron power play not all that impactful, but it does mean they are now actually in the lead in terms of that gold as they're looking again for another tower as DFM sort of caught their pants around their ankles as this will be going down.
Yeah, and somehow 665 is a higher level than this 4-1 Cassante. The Baron does help and gives you a lot of XP, but you still wouldn't expect that. I think Ray Farkey just neglecting farm this game to group with his team. Have been caught out a lot by DCG, so he's decided to just stay with his team most of this game and punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, this whole game has just been someone getting caught, right, from both teams. DFM having Harp get caught, or not even necessarily caught, but have 6-5 sort of pull the trigger onto Harp means that Ray Farkey has to be there, or it's Steel finding something onto Feng on the opposite side, and it's just happening so often. As Steel going to use it once again, that Glacial Prism, but this time connects onto Orca despite the aggression from Feng. Despite that arcane shift, he's going to be able to dodge out of that Sejuani ult, and now it's a missing cooldown.
Yeah, not all that much for DCG to really do on the map, but try put on a full press on all these lanes. They've got Taco rotating to bot to catch a massive wave, which he will appreciate for his stats. Approaching 300 now at 270.
Yeah. Importantly, those barely matter. You barely feel the difference between getting stacks after 225. Not like you used to anyway, where the execute threshold used to just increase and increase. Now the execute stays the same. You get a little bit of max health burn damage, but not all that impactful.
So Arya will be impactful once he finishes this Rabadon.
Yes, so close.
Afforded to just goes for a very high damage build. Engage, maybe.
Yeah, 65 looking. It's a really nice glacial fissure, but it's also very nice ultimate from Arya, but he's just absolutely popped. Completely one-shot was that Aurora as this aggression once again from DCG. Ray Farkey, he's going to get executed one way or the other. It's just when will it happen? Actually, may be able to get away. 65 trying to find the stun. We'll be able to find it. That Q coming through from Taco does all but confirm the kill. Down comes Mom Harp, going to have to flash away. 5 members of DCG do remain standing. Now, what can they find for their trouble? There's no standing neutrals. Only the towers to look at it. Instead, they're going to look towards this jungle, take away as much gold on the map as they can.
Yeah, they're going to get 665 even further ahead. He's looking like a monster on the Vi this game. We haven't really got to see him on it. All split used to be a staple. So the engage here onto Arya, he just doesn't push Zhonya's, I believe. It's the knock-up from the Braum ulti into a chain CC onto Arya. Fighting Rumble, Braum, Ezreal in these chokes is a lesson that DFM have now very thoroughly learned. Ray Farkey does a good job to really almost escape here with the healing coming out from the Seraphine. But eventually Taco does pick him up.
The other side of DCG, the coaching staff, Hana tied as well. They're just all very happy. I'm sure I would be too if I was in their camp. As a PCS fan, I am.
Yeah, and honestly, the problem I'm seeing with these team fights for DFM is Arya can land a 5-man ulti if he wants to, but he's kind of the only person doing damage and really capitalizing on these ults. A lot of these fights are starting and Ray Farkey's not even there. Steel's already used his ulti somewhere else.
I think it has to be said, right, while the Braum, very difficult to lane against the Seraphine, is doing so much in these fights.
Yeah.
Because the Arya will come through, land on the 3, 4, 5 members. Braum just stands in front of everyone on the side of DFM, puts up that shield, and then no longer can they do any damage to Cascada, Taco, or Feng. And on the other side, I mean, every bit of splash damage coming through from Feng, the AoE from Cascada, the ultimate from Feng. There's so much AoE that's coming through as opposed to the other side as Orca getting looked at, but he doesn't care. He's just a Braum. Feng going aggressive now as the Glacial Prism will go wide. 65, who's he going to choose to ult? It's so important who he finds. Can he CC chain Arya? There goes the Zhonya's from Arya. Now it is the ultimate used from 65, no cease and assist, but the execute coming through from Taco. Arya trying to get aggressive, he gets one kill, and he's dipping and diving, trying to get out. He will find a double. This Aurora champion's getting out of hand, but talking out of hand, look at Taco, look at Cascada, they're trying to do everything on the other side. The execute's truly online, but talking about execute, that's Cascada going down. It's DFM. They have 4 very low health members and 1 smolder with it all to do as they're looking towards this dragon, and with that would be the soul.
I don't think Taco's going to be able to do a damn thing about this, and he agrees with me, just hitting a recall on the Smolder. What a monster fight from Arya. He was absolutely feeling it at this fight. It's initially the Vi ulti that comes out of him. Every spell is missing from DFM, even that Ash arrow onto a Braum who's already ulted. But Arya immediately Zhonya's. This is why I said he's not a valid target. Lands a 4-man ulti here, jumps through his ulti behind them, cancels out his ulti to stealth away and kite all the members of DCG. Taco looks silly just trying to flash onto him. And does so much to disrupt that fight on the Aurora.
And Harp really hit an MVP in there, able to land that ultimate onto 665, who was channeling that Vault Breaker to try and stun up Arya as soon as he comes out of that Zhonya's. But the CC comes through, stops 665 from doing that. At the end there, landing the snare onto Cascada to make sure there was nobody that could stand in the way of the Smolder if Taco wanted to play aggressively. And with that, able to take that teamfight win, able to pick up that Dragon Soul. And now DFM, while they're behind 1K in gold, they feel like they should just be in the lead.
Yeah, I think just with the Soul should probably do it. I haven't seen an Aurora with Cloud Soul, but she seems like she'd use it quite well to me. Harp eats a little chunk there. Yeah,
a little bit too late on that shield, so we'll just be feeling that damage well and truly.
Yeah, can just heal himself up on the Seraphine.
Oh, look at 6-5. He's looking for something. Taco able to find the splash damage, but is it going to be enough? It's not really landing. There's a little bit. Orca going aggressively, and Feng going even more aggressively as the stun does land there onto Steel. The concussive blows. Oh, 6-5. Oh my god, he's being looked at. He's got the flash. He's got the flash. Equalizes fantastic though, coming out of Cruscada here. As Yutapon trying to kite. What can come through though? Taco, at least with the ultimate. Yutapon getting low. Feng flashing forward. He's lost his damn mind. He's in the middle of 5 members. And it's a double kill for Yutapon. Now Taco, the only remaining damage that can come through is Orca. Not sure what that flash was, but that flash was not it. And now Taco once again finds himself in a position where it's him against the world. Can the Smolder wave clear keep the side of DCG alive in this game number 1 for long enough? Or will DFM get game number 1? It's Steel with the aggression, and when DFM with game number 1.
I think that's just game. DFM go from ahead early game, somehow behind, to immediately ending the game after winning 2 fights here, off the back of Arya having an insane game on this Aurora. So far, Aurora not solved.
Yeah, certainly, if you ask me if I felt that DCG had solved this Aurora champion, I would say no. I think it's another look at the drawing board here, fellas, because Arya put on a clinic. There were times there where 6-5 and Orca were able to chain CC, yes, but as soon as that was not possible, as soon as Zhonya came through, doomed.
But if I know one thing about DCG, it's that they have not showed up today with just one plan dealing with this Aurora. They will have other things up their sleeve, whether that is just a cut your losses, ban the champ, or they have some other ridiculous picks coming out for Cascada.
Yep. One thing to note is that last time, the last playoff series these two teams have, it was actually DCG losing game number 1 in that series as well. And the problem was the Smolder. This time, it was the problem is the Aurora. But, you know, if history were to repeat itself, the Aurora will remain open, and DCG will just